Hello, boys and girls. Today is Wednesday, and it is the day before Thanksgiving. It's hard to believe it's gotten here this fast. I'm sorry I couldn't do a read aloud with you yesterday. Miss Amy had some work done at the dentist on my tooth, and my face was kind of swollen, and I was very sore, so I wouldn't have looked very good for a read aloud. But anyway, I've got two day before Thanksgiving or night before Thanksgiving stories to read to you today. I read one back at Halloween too. I think it was called The Night Before Halloween. And these are all based on a Christmas story actually that's called Twas the Night Before Christmas. And the man that wrote that wrote it as a poem, which has some different stanzas and rhyming words and things like that. So there's been a lot of stories that are kind of made after that. So I have two, and these are going to be very similar. This is Twas the Night Before Thanksgiving. And these boys and girls are going to be going on a field trip with their class, just like Gilbert went on a field trip with his class. So this is written and illustrated by Dave Pilkey, and that means he wrote the story and drew the pictures. But he did model this story after the poem Twas the Night Before Christmas. So here we go. 'Twas the day before Thanksgiving, and all through the trees the fall leaves were spinning aloft in the breeze. Do you see the leaves falling off there? 8 children had boarded their school bus with grins and hoped that a field trip soon would begin. They sang as they rode through the autumn terrains, while visions of drumsticks danced in their brains. They're thinking about turkey drumsticks they're going to eat tomorrow. Or rivers through woods with winding and weaves, their school bus sailed on through the new fallen leaves. When out on the road there arose such a clatter, they threw down their windows to see what was the matter. What was the big commotion? And look, there's an arrow. It says turkey farm. They must be going to the turkey farm. When what with their wondering eyes should they see but a miniature farm and 8 tiny turkeys. You see the turkeys there? And a little old man so lively and rugged, they knew in a moment it was Farmer McNugget. He was dressed all in denim from his head to his toe, with a pinch of polyester and a dash of Velcro. And then in a twinkling they heard in the straw the prancing and pawing of each little claw. More rapid than chickens his cockerels they came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name. This story might sound familiar because this is what St. Nicholas does to his reindeer. But listen to the turkeys' names. Now Ollie, now Stanley, now Larry and Mo. On Wally, on Beaver, on Shimp and Groucho. The turkeys were chunky with smiley beaked faces, and they greeted the children with downy embraces. An embrace is a hug. So out through the barnyard they ran and they flew, and they gobbled and giggled as friends sometimes do. Then somebody spotted an axe by the door, and she asked Farmer McNugget what it was for. Do you know what that axe is for? And with a blink of his eye and a twist of his head, the old farmer told a grim tale of dread. Tonight, said McNugget, these feathery beasts will be chopped up and roasted for Thanksgiving feast. Oh, that's what a farmer has to do. He has to cut the turkey's head off, and then they're gonna roast him in the oven for Thanksgiving. The children stood still as tears filled their eyes. Then they clamored aloud in a chorus of cries. Oh, they don't want those turkeys to have to be Thanksgiving dinners. Oh dear, cried McNugget, now what shall I do? So he dashed to the well, and their teacher went too. He's gonna go get them some water. And they fetched some water fresh from the ground in hopes that a swig, or a drink, might calm everyone down. And when they returned to quiet the matter, the children were calmer and mysteriously fatter. Do you see how fat they look? Do you know what they did? Can you guess? I think they might have hid the turkeys under their shirts. Look at that one, I can see his feet. The boys and girls drank up their drinks in the hay, then thanked old McNugget and waddled away. They leant to the school bus, all huffing and puffing. It's not easy to walk with hot turkey stuffing. And then as the school bus drove off in the night, McNugget looked around. Not a turkey in sight. See, he's got his axe, he's ready, but he can't find his turkeys. 'Twas the night before Thanksgiving, and the stars up above shone down on a school bus abounding with love. Those children loved those turkeys too much to let them be Thanksgiving dinner. The very next evening, 8 families were blessed with 8 fluffy Thanksgiving turkeys as guests. They feasted on veggies with jelly and toast, and everyone was thankful. The turkeys were most. So each one gave thanks for love and for living, and they all had a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. So the turkeys in that story got to be the special guest at Thanksgiving dinner, just like in that story, A Turkey for Thanksgiving. Did you see what my shirt says? It says, I'm thankful for my preschool turkeys. Did you know you guys are my little turkeys? And I'm thankful for you. And I'm so glad that we get to be back together on Monday after Thanksgiving. So that makes me very happy. All right, I've got one more. This is also called The Night Before Thanksgiving. And this one's a little more realistic. But it's still fiction, so we're gonna see what happens. This one is by Natasha Wing, that's who the author is, and the illustrator is Tammy Lyon. And remember, top to bottom, left to right, that's how the story goes. 'Twas the night before Thanksgiving, and all through the nation, families got ready for the big celebration. At our house, my mom baked 3 kinds of pies, pecan and pumpkin and apple surprise. So you're baking the pies? That night we were nestled all snug in our beds while visions of turkey legs danced in our heads. They're having the same vision as the boys and girls on the school bus were. They were thinking about turkey legs. The very next morning, Thanksgiving, yippee! We got up and watched the parade on TV. There's that Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade that I told you about that was in our Let's Find Out. And then relatives arrived from near and far by taxi and airplane, by train and by car. All the extended family is coming for dinner. My brother came up the basement stairs, lugging the kids' table and the folding chairs. We counted and polished our best silverware, then set the 2 tables with patience and care. They're getting ready for Thanksgiving lunch. The turkey went in, and as more cousins came, I laughed and I shouted and I called them by name. So this one's going to call the cousins' names. Hi, Danny. Hi, Donna. Hi, Paula and Vicky. Hi, Casey. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Brenda and Ricky. Come in from the porch. Step into the hall. Now come and play. Come and play. Come and play all. That's a lot of cousins. I wonder, will you get together with some of your cousins tomorrow? So up to my room, my cousins, they flew. We played with my toys and computer games too. We made pilgrim hats and funny shoe buckles and put on a skit for our aunts and for uncles. Maybe they're gonna put on the skit of the first Thanksgiving with the pilgrims. We were assembled except Uncle Norm, who called us to say he was stuck in a storm. Meanwhile, my mother was getting out yams, cranberry jelly, and honey-baked hams, all the Thanksgiving goodies. When Mom wasn't looking, we stuck olives on fingers and said they were puppets and grand opera singers. See the olives on their fingertips? They're pretending like they're puppets. While dinner was cooking, we played dodgeball outside. Our tummies were growling. Can we eat? We cried. The timer then sounded. The turkey was cooked. Mom opened the oven. She sniffed and she looked, when what to our watering mouths should appear but a marvelous bird, which caused us to cheer. This is what a turkey looks like when it's been baked. It doesn't have his head anymore, but he's got his little wings and he's got his drumsticks. Its skin, oh, so golden, the drumsticks so juicy, the stuffing was fluffy, thanks to my Aunt Lucy. Dad slid out the bird. It weighed 30 pounds. He turned, then he tripped over one of our hounds. Uh-oh, there was a doggy in the middle of the kitchen, and it caused Dad to trip. What do you think's gonna happen to that turkey? Think it's gonna fly off the dish? Up in the air, the turkey did fly, over the string beans and straight for a pie. My brother and I, we made such a clatter as we let and caught the bird on a platter. Look, this little girl caught it right on the dish. That she saved the day and saved the turkey. All right, said Grandpa, get on with the carving. Can't you see that these people are starving? You have to carve the turkey and cut it up once it comes out of the oven. Dad spoke not a word, but went straight to his work. He sliced up the turkey, then turned with a jerk. In front of our house, we heard the beeps of a horn. A trucker delivered, none other than Norm. Remember, Uncle Norm was the one stuck in the storm. With a wink of his eye and a twist of his head, he said, "The party can start. I made it," Norm said. Oh, he made it in time for dinner. We all took our places. The food smelled so great. We started to dig in, but Dad said to wait. We're thankful that everyone is together this year, in our home and our hearts, where we hold you so dear. We ate and we ate, yet last but not least, the very next day was a leftovers feast. That's one of my favorite things about Thanksgiving, is all the yummy leftovers the next day and the day after that. So boys and girls, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. I hope that you get to fill your tummies with lots of yummy food. Maybe you can watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in the morning. And maybe you can think back over all the stories that Miss Amy has read about Thanksgiving and tell your mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or poppy or whoever what your favorite was, and maybe they can tell Miss Amy. I hope you all have a very, very happy Thanksgiving. We have a few days off. I'm going to let you celebrate the holiday with your family. I'm not going to be back to read anymore, but I will see you on Monday, and I am so excited about that. So have a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you soon. Bye.